Good morning, happy Thursday, everybody. Outstanding job this week. We're almost done with the work week, and you know what that means, don't you? A little R&R. That stands for rest and relaxation, if you were unaware. So in today's story, we're going back to Afghanistan, where a massive amount of money was wasted, and you'll never guess who was behind it. Alright, yes, as I dig further into how money was spent and or wasted in Afghanistan, I find that the same person was behind just about everything, right? And I know what you're thinking. You're like, who is this mystery person, right? Well, I'll let you know very shortly. I'll let you know after I cover some of this story, and you're going to be like, this guy again. This guy, right? But if you're new here, please like and subscribe. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind that at all. Leave a comment if you find the story entertaining. Now let's get into it. All right, in the early 2010s, the Pentagon approved a 64,000 square foot building. They nicknamed it 64K, and that it was located Camp Leatherneck, Helmand Province, Afghanistan. All right, intentions are very important. Now, why did the Pentagon want this done? Well, there was a surge in the 2010s of troops that were coming into Afghanistan, right? To support troops, combat troops, engineers, all the above. So the Pentagon approved this 64,000 square foot building to support the mission, right? But after they looked at the plans, they realized that the building wasn't going to be finished until after the surge was over and troops were retracted from Afghanistan. Now, there was 3 generals that were looking into it, that were on the ground in Afghanistan. They looked at the paperwork, they looked at the timing, they said, no, it's not going to be done and we're not going to need it. So they formally wrote and said, no, we oppose this 64,000 square foot monstrosity that is not going to be needed and probably will never be used. Yeah, and those 3 generals, their names were Marine Major General Richard Mills. Yeah, and then Mills sent the cancellation request for the 64K up the chain to Army Major General Timothy P. McHale. Now, General T. McHale was a deputy commander for U.S. forces in Afghanistan, and McHale agreed with Mills. He said the Marines have an adequate command headquarters, he wrote in a memo, so the project is no longer required. And later that week, a 3rd general echoed Mills and McHale, Army Brigadier General William Buckler, and sent a memo to the U.S. command that oversees Afghanistan, saying that given the overall Afghanistan campaign plan and its strategy for bases, the building is no longer required. Now, given all that information, that commands now know that the building is not needed. Well, Congress had already approved the money to be sent to Afghanistan to build this base, right? So guess what happened after that? Well, it landed on the desk of Major General Peter Vangel. He was the Deputy General of U.S. Army Central in Afghanistan at the time. Ultimately, he had all the authority in construction in Afghanistan. Yeah, after having all the information that this guy had, right? Having everything that he had, knowing that 3 people right below him in the chain of command said, no, it's not needed, he went ahead and greenlit the program anyway. He said, let's do this. Let's waste some taxpayer dollars. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, how much does this cost? Well, the original plans were drafted in 2011, and they were not culminated until 2013. Well, the original estimate for this building was around $25 million, right? Congress had approved it. Whatever you need, build it. We'll put it in there. And after they incorporated utilities, electrical, HVAC, internet, all the above. Oh, road work, roads that led in and out all around the base that this bad boy was going to be on. Well, it soared to over $45 million. All right, now I want your opinion on something. Say you and your spouse or business partner own a property, right? But you intend on selling this property. Now, say they come to you within a year of you selling your property to say, hey, I'd like to build a pole barn. You say, why? Why would you do that? Well, I'd like to put all my stuff in the pole barn, and maybe I'll have some friends over from time to time. They can hang out in there. We'll put a bathroom. We'll put everything in there for whatever they need. And you say, well, by the time that we build this pole barn, we're not going to even own this property anymore. And then your partner or your business partner or spouse says, well, that's fine. That's fine with me. I've already went to the bank. They've approved the loan, but we cannot put that on the resale value of the house. Would you still approve them to build this pole barn, or would you say, get the hell out of here? You're no longer involved in this property. What would you say? I know what I'd say. All right, now let's get back to it because I'm losing my train of thought, and I blame you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding around. But guess how many times this base was used by U.S. military, by the way, because that's very important. Well, it was never used at all, right? Guess who's using it now? Yeah, Afghanistan is. So it was almost like a gift from Barack Obama to Joe Biden when he withdrew out of Afghanistan. But that is beside the point. Now, what happened after that? Well, the Seaguar decided to blame the Army General. Now, the Army General decided to blame the Seaguar, saying that it was all about bureaucracy rather than operational need. Now, the Senate looked into it, including Senator John McCain at the time, and he said, well, we need to investigate this. We need to investigate what's going on here. So they went to the Pentagon. The Pentagon said, no, we don't need to look into that because it was needed at the time. It just wasn't built on time. So there is no need to punish anybody for this waste of taxpayer dollars. Now, if you recall from the beginning of my video, I said there's a mystery man behind all this. The mystery man. Now, who is this? Well, if you remember my video on the $43 million natural gas station that was completely useless and never used in Afghanistan, they built it. Well, who knows why they built it? Because the people in Afghanistan could not afford to change their vehicles over to burn natural gas over petroleum. So guess who was behind this 64,000 square foot monstrosity that was never used, never touched? Yeah, it was the same exact person that approved the natural gas station in Afghanistan. Now that is a grand total of 79 million US taxpayer dollars that was completely wasted on stuff that was never touched, well, besides built by American citizens. A completely empty facility that was never utilized by American citizens, and a gas station that can't be used by anybody. All right, and this completely wasteful man, not caring about taxpayer dollars, just bureaucracy, right? Well, his name's John Sabco, and he's been the SIGAR, or the Special Inspector General for Afghanistan Reconstruction, since 2012. Yes, and all careers have a beginning and an end. His began under President Barack Obama, during the Afghanistan, and there is a fly flying around that is bothering me. I can't get it. I can't get this thing. All right, I think I got him. I got him with my gym bro hat. My gym bro hat. I like to wear it when I do skits acting like a gym bro. I simply bought it for that and that purpose only. All right, and back to it. So, as I was saying, all careers have a beginning and an end. His started in 2012 and it ended in 2025 when he was fired by Donald Trump.
You're fired. Get out of here.
So it so happens he did come back, and there will be no prisoners. And something else you'd like to know about: since 2020 to 2024, $3 billion had been sent to Afghanistan for development and humanitarianism, and additionally another $3.5 billion had been sent to something called the Afghan Fund, right? It's a Swiss-based entity, and it was designed to protect Afghanistan's macro financial stability. All right, now I know this was a little bit of it was a different story than what I normally cover, in a different way, right? But I felt like it was important for this story to get out. People should know stuff like this. That way they can make educated decisions on what's going on with the military, with the world, where we're sending our money, all of the above. I mean, taxpayers should 100% know where their tax dollar is always going. But if you learned anything, please let me know down in the comments. I like reading the comments. I appreciate the comments. Give this video a like and a share if you think other people should know about it. And additionally, get outside, do some PT, change your socks, hydrate. I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.